Hi everyone, my name's James Dean. I'm the CEO and founder of HRC Online, and we're doing a short mini series on our main study tips to sort of help you get through the CIPD qualifications. It also helps if you're studying generally any sort of assessment-based qualifications. And we've been working through multiple different things that we would advise that you focus on when it comes to your approach to study, when it comes to how you're going to go about things. Today's study tip is going to focus on references and citations. Because one of the main things that we see from learners is that they don't reference enough, they don't citate enough, they're not producing enough evidence. And there's a lot of reason why CIPD are focused on this. There's a lot of reason why CIPD want you to basically use an external reference for every single point that you've got. But one of the main areas where people drop down when they're doing their CIPD assessments is they don't reference enough. They just try and write as they know. And that's kind of not what CIPD want them to do. So pretty much like the word count video that I did, I'm going to use a CIPD assessment which is called 5HR01, and there's section 1, which is 5 questions that they've got. Within these 5 questions, 1,500 words, and what we did in the word count video is we broke it down into actions. So we took the verb, which we did in our first video, then we took the word count, which we did in our second video, and we broke it down into actions where they've got around about 70 words per action. And we're going to ensure that we address the verb fully when we do this. Now, one of the big questions people have is how many references, how many citations do I use? And my answer on this would be for every action that you've identified and that you want to answer, you need a reference and you need a citation, which feels like a lot. But if you're asked to assess tools, well, it's an evaluation, so it's not your ideas, it needs to be external sources and stuff like that, and references, citations should be around about no more than 5 years old, really. So think of it as how you win an argument. This is one of the main things, I think, the main benefits of the CIPD qualification generally as a whole, which is how do I win the argument? Well, I win the argument not by saying I believe we should do this. You win the argument by saying the evidence suggests we should do this, this, and this. And I'm going to give you not my view on any of them. I'm going to give you the view and why this view is here, with a citation, with a reference, with some data, with some evidence that can be backed up, can be pulled apart. Because in HR, a lot of the times you're not finance. You don't have numbers and budgets and cash flow to sort of reinforce your point. You're not sales. You're not going to say, oh, we're going to miss out on X amount of income or anything like that. What you have is evidence and research and what happens to other companies and other people that have wrote about it. So what you can do is you can find evidence for your opinions and your views, and you can submit that, and then you can find the counter and go, well, this is what the other did, but actually if they did this, this would work. And you're able to put forward an argument that is an evidence-based argument. That's what CIPD really want you to learn from a level 5 qualification. A level 3, they want you to be able to explain what the elements are, how it all works, discuss things, have conversations with first-line managers. The devolvement of HR into first-line managers is pretty big, so they want you to be able to have that confident conversation. Level 5, they want you to be able to critically evaluate elements of the qualification with evidence, so that if you're in a room with some bosses and you can say, I think we should do this because the evidence tells us that's what we should be doing. And that's kind of what this really focuses on. So when you have a rule of how many references, how many citations should I put in, for every action that you've identified, which is covered in the previous 2 videos, every action and thing, I'm going to give you a reference. I'm going to show you where I got my research. I'm going to show you how I formed this opinion and this data. So what you'd be looking here is there's about 20 actions. 6, 12, 20, 21, 22 actions. That would be 20, 22 references and citations. Now, occasionally it may be the same one that reinforces multiple points, but try not to do that if you can, because really what you want is a whole range of views to go, well, it's not just this, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's that. You're more likely to win the argument if you've got 3 or 4 different pieces of evidence than just referring one piece of content, because what if that one piece of content is wrong? It's a lot less likely if 3 pieces of content are wrong then one piece is wrong. So make sure that you reinforce your point, make sure that you've got it, make sure that you're looking at it from both sides, and make sure that everything that you're saying, try not to use quotes, because I don't think you always have the words for quotes. If they're short, yeah, fine, but try to ensure that when you're doing this, you're writing out what your answer is. And that way you're building your answer, you're building the solution, you're building what you're doing, and you're going, I think, this employee voice tool, the evaluation on this employee voice tool means that, annual surveys don't work for this reason. This is what this found. This is what this evidence said, that 70% of people believe it's a snapshot in time, blah, 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 blah. That type of evidence is what CIPD want to see. That type of research, that type of reinforcement of your opinion, that type of I'm right because is what CIPD want to see. And that's why references and citations are really important. That's why I would go for one for every action. And if you've not seen the word count, or you've not seen the verb one, I would go back to those first, because it will kind of explain how we're getting to this point. We're sort of slowly building our perfect assessment plan as we're going through this series. And if you are jumping us here, please subscribe to the channel. This type of free content that we like to put together for learners. Don't mind if you're studying with us. Don't mind if you're studying with anyone else. The idea is to help you get through this qualification, because the more CIPD qualified people we have, the more impact we're going to have for people in their working lives. Thank you.